Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. It's Terry, your host. So I'm here on the side of I-70 in Utah. And a couple of interesting things about the route I traveled over here from Colorado. US 6 runs for quite a ways over past Green River to a point where it starts to head north along with 191, US 191. And the reason I mentioned US 6 is because US 6 is designated as the Grand Army of the Republic highway. And you might say, well, what's the Grand Army of the Republic? And the Grand Army of the Republic was a veterans organization of Civil War veterans, and it was probably one of the first political advocacy groups. They advocated for pensions for soldiers. They advocated for voting rights for black veterans, and so that highway, when it was eventually completed, was named for them and the people that were a part of it. One of the things that was interesting about it, it was not a perpetual organization. So around 1956, the last veteran who belonged to the Grand Army of the Republic passed away, and the organization was basically shuttered at that point. But there's some interesting stuff around me. I want to talk about that too. So this area behind me is, and I'm just going to kind of pan out here. So this is called the this is Black Dragon Canyon. But basically where it goes down is an area that was, this rock is probably over 250 million years old. It predates the Permian extinction, which wiped out about 95% of the species here on Earth. But at the end of it is what is called the San Rafael swell, and that's a reef. And you might wonder why you use the term reef out here with all these different geologic formations, and the answer is, well, all this was underwater at one time. And I know it's really hard to fathom how, you know, you're at 7,000, 8,000 feet or whatever, and but yeah, this was all underwater. Of course, it's gone through a lot of geologic upheaval, so that's why you have all these faulted anticlines around here, and other geologic formations. Stuff has been pushed up, but it's still pretty amazing to see, and it's like looking back in time. So anyway, if you get out here, stop, just take a minute, look around. It kind of makes you think about your place in the world, and how we're just human beings as a species are just a speck in the time of the Earth. So anyway, thanks for hanging with Tim Travels, and we'll be back shortly. Oh, one other thing. If you're driving in Michigan this weekend, there are going to be a lot of highways closed. This is kind of a funny story, but I called the fuel desk to say, because I had been reading about highways being closed. I called the fuel desk to say, hey, I-94 is going to be closed in right around the I-69 interchange. They're going to be doing full highway closures throughout big periods of the weekend. And she said, well, I'll transfer you over to safety. That's their thing. And then safety I get a hold of safety, and what do they say? Let me transfer to the fuel desk. So anyway, so I-94 right around the I-69 interchange is going to be closed for bridge demolition, and during big blocks of time this weekend. And then the other place that's going to be closed is I-275 between I-96 and I-94. So if you're in Michigan this weekend and you need to be moving around, you might want to put a lot of extra time in your schedule if you got to use any of those roads. So anyway, again, thanks for coming with Tim Travels, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.